although this optical illusion will be gone next Monday, this crack has made a lasting impression on not only the students of Pomfret, but on earthquake awareness itself. The campus is buzzing after an incident Saturday afternoon that sent one student from a U of A fraternity to the hospital. UATV's Jade Saylor is in studio and has the story. Jade? Microchipping your pet is an easy way to ensure their safety and prevent your local shelter from overcrowding. It might even be what brings your pet home. As we learned last night, this was a very tough decision for Jeff Long, and he actually met with the football team shortly before the big press conference. But as early in the afternoon as we saw, Bret Bielema of Wisconsin was chosen for the job. And just to do a little background info on Bret Bielema, he's been at Wisconsin for 7 years. He has a record of 68-24, which is the 9th highest winning percentage of all active coaches in college football. That's pretty impressive within itself. I'm here at the Northwest Quads Dining Hall, where Chartwells is implementing a new program called Project Clean Plate. Now, this program is encouraging students to really lower the amount of food they don't eat that will end up in a landfill later on. Now, approximately 10,000 meals are served per day, and from every meal, about 2.8 ounces of food are left behind. Now, if you do the math on that, that's an astonishing 2,000 pounds of food that does not get eaten every day by students. Student volunteers will be here during the dinner hours to help and remind students that they should not grab more food than they cannot eat. Now, Project Clean Plate began yesterday and will continue till next Thursday, February 16th. For UATV, I'm Jacob Parker. I'm here on Dixon Street where, as you can see behind me, the Hillside Auditorium is being built. Construction started last fall, and for a while it just looked like a giant pit. But as you can see, a lot of progress has been made over the last couple of weeks.
It almost feels like it came up overnight because there's so much more than there was. I remember when it was just rain draining in the pit.
Now, most students remember it as the old Science and Engineering building and the former Geology building that was right behind it. The Hillside Auditorium is planning to have 2 auditoriums, one with 488 seats and another with 272. Now, the estimated cost of this building project was around $13 million, which is being funded from bonds supported by the student facility fee. From UATV, I'm Jacob Parker. I'm here at the UARK Bowl on Dixon Street, where well-known comedian Carlos Mencia will be here on this exact stage performing later this week. This is the first sellout crowd the UARK Bowl has ever seen ever since it was converted from an old bowling alley around 50 years ago. Now, Carlos will perform Sunday night starting at 7:30, and the doors will open at 6:30. And because of the sellout at 7:30, they have added another show at 10 p.m. with the doors opening at 9:30. General admission for Carlos Mencia is $25 and $20 for students with their student ID.
We're all pretty excited having Carlos and knowing that there are going to be 400 people walking in those doors and then plus everyone that shows up for the late show.
The UARK Bowl hopes that Carlos Mencia is the first of many big-name comedians to bring their act to Fayetteville. From the UARK Bowl and for UATV, I'm Jacob Parker.
Let's go to UATV's Jacob Parker with more on the firing of Bobby Petrino.
Thanks, Christy. Now, as we learned last night, this was a very tough decision for Jeff Long, and he actually met with the football team shortly before the big press conference.
I met with the football team a short time ago and informed them of my decision. I shared with them, my disappointment in having to make the difficult decision. I asked them to try to remain focused on their academics and finishing spring practice.
Now, as you heard, Jeff Long, a very emotional man last night at the press conference. He really took this to heart. He said it affected a lot of families, a lot of people, and he is very sorry for what happened. Long also expressed that this was Petrino's fault, no one else's. It was his alone. He made these decisions knowingly to lie to Jeff Long and the university. And he also said that this is going to put a negative publicity spin on the University of Arkansas, and it's going to take time to heal. Now, as the new coaching search, it has begun last night after the press conference, is what Jeff Long said, and it's going to take as long as it needs to. Now, for more updates and more information on this, you can follow us on Twitter at UATV Sports and online at uatvonline.net. Back to you, Christy. I'm here at Donald Reynolds Razorback Stadium, where earlier today at 2 p.m., was the official press conference to announce John L. Smith as the new head hog for the Razorback football team.
At this time, it's my honor and my pleasure to formally introduce head football coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks, John L. Smith.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
63-year-old Smith is entering his 40th year of coaching and 19th as a head coach. He agreed to sign a 10-month agreement with a compensation of $850,000 for this next football season. Reporting for UATV, I'm Jacob Parker. The next time you bring your pet in for a rabies shot, they will get a microchip inserted instead. As of January this year, the city of Fayetteville has made it a requirement to have your pet microchipped.
It permanently stays with them, unlike a rabies tag or a city tag. They can lose it anytime. You can't take the collar off. You know, people are always, well, I just gave my dog a bath, forgot to put the collar back on. This is something that you can't forget to do. It stays with the dog or the cat.
The small chip is inserted like a vaccine shot in between the animal's shoulders. It is a quick and painless procedure and only needs to be done once.
Just that the cost here is $20, and we send in the registration form so they don't have to pay the registration fee. A registration fee could be about $14 to $15 if they were to have to mail it in themselves. So that saves them the money right then.
The chip information is on record for any vet or shelter to help lost animals get home quickly. Microchipping your pet is an easy way to ensure their safety and prevent your local shelter from overcrowding. It might even be what brings your pet home. From UATV, I'm Jacob Parker. This is the University of Arkansas cycling team, one of the many club sports the university offers to students, but often goes unnoticed.
Like I said, you get that team feeling. You get it's a huge team thing, and it's a lot of fun just having everybody with you, and going down to the races in Texas and Oklahoma.
These riders have won 7 medals so far and are anxious to compete against the professionals in the Joe Martin stage race this weekend.
I'm just super stoked about it, especially because it's so close. It's right in our backyard.
While the team has only been together for a year, they are already making a name for themselves.
The teamwork that we put into it and the camaraderie, wow, sorry. I don't know, just working together and getting the wins, because you can't really do it without the team. It's really difficult.
It's definitely been a team sport, and it's been amazing to see how our team has grown over the past semester. We basically started from nothing this past August, and we put a lot of work into it. We've come a long way, won a lot of medals.
These cyclists will continue to ride and compete for the University of Arkansas, grabbing your attention one race at a time. For UATV, I'm Jacob Parker. When Pomfret students returned from break, they discovered in the middle of the floor of the great room a giant sinkhole. The only thing is, it's an optical illusion.
It's pretty awesome. I remember walking up the stairs and seeing it, and I was like, what in the world is this doing here? And then seeing the signs up there and learning it's about earthquakes. So
I came in here and I was like, oh my gosh, this does look real. So I was tempted to actually jump into it, see if it actually do a cannonball into it, but
it is actually a realistic 3D painting of a giant sinkhole to promote earthquake safety awareness. This is a part of a national campaign called the Great U.S. Shakeout Campaign.
The people that organize emergency management on campus felt it was important that we get involved and start teaching our students more and more about it. Because we don't know where the earthquake activity is going to go in Arkansas, and we do live fairly close to a major fault line.
The biggest message they wanted to get across was when in an earthquake, drop, cover, and hold on.
I don't know of anybody that didn't walk through here and ask, what is this for? Who did this? Who painted it? So they ask questions, and it's real simple to work in the message while we're talking to them about the crack in the floor.
Now, although this optical illusion will be gone next Monday, this crack has made a lasting impression on not only the students of Pomfret, but on earthquake awareness itself. So for UATV, I'm Jacob Parker.
Everyone, and welcome to our New York studios in the NCAA Basketball Championship Selection Show. I'm Greg Gumbel. Once again, this year's tournament features a field of 68 teams.
March Madness is known as a time for exciting college basketball, as 68 teams compete to be crowned national champion. It's also a time when people fill out brackets and open their wallets to bet on the tournament. Bracket pools, big and small, can be found everywhere.
Get together with buddies and do a few just pools with friends, and as many as I can get into. I can't get enough of it.
The money wagered in a bracket pool varies just as much as the sizes of the pools.
Probably 15 to 20 bucks. It's worth a shot. You never know.
The FBI estimates that $2.5 million is wagered on the tournament every year, but only 3% of that amount is wagered in Las Vegas legally. Basketball pool fans can also submit their brackets on sites such as ESPN.com, CBSSports.com, and many others for chances to win cash prizes.
I really think it's just the excitement of the tournament. I mean, you have 3 weeks in March where, everyone's just in a frenzy trying to fill out the perfect bracket. You have people that don't even care about sports that are like, oh, bracket, I'll pair up which mascot I like the best.
For ESPN alone, about 6 million brackets were filled out online last year, and after the first day of the tournament, only 317 remained perfect. For UATV, I'm Jacob Parker.